Okay, so we've all heard the term servant leadership, right? I mean, the whole idea that great leaders should serve their team first. It sounds fantastic, a really noble goal, but what if the way most of us have been taught to think about it is actually missing something huge? What if there's a fatal flaw in the common understanding?
Yeah, what if the corporate world cooked this amazing, pure idea, put it in a shiny box, and in the process kind of stripped it of its soul? That's the big question we're going to dig into.
So you might be asking, where did it all go wrong? Well, it seems to have started when this pure idea of service crashed right into the hard-nosed demands of the business world. The source material for this explainer calls it the ROI trap.
I mean, think about it. As soon as leadership training becomes a product you sell to a company, you have to prove it's worth the money, right? You have to show its return on investment. And suddenly, the whole conversation shifts from how can we genuinely serve our people to how will serving our people boost the bottom line.
And this is the result. Serving the team stops being the actual goal, and instead, it just becomes another tool in the toolbox. It becomes a strategy to increase productivity or improve retention numbers. The servant part gets lost, and it all becomes just a transaction.
So how do we fix this? How do we get back to that true spirit of service? Well, the book suggests a really simple but incredibly powerful shift, and it all comes down to adding one little word: mind it.
See, servant-minded leadership isn't some program you can buy or a weekend seminar you attend. It's a total mindset shift. It's about developing a constant, conscious awareness of what it really means to serve. It's about who you are as a leader, not just the things you do.
And this right here is the heart of it all. This isn't about ROI or some new productivity hack. According to the source, the entire foundation of this whole approach is just an authentic love and genuine care for the people you have the privilege to lead. Okay, so that sounds great, but what does it actually look like day to day? Well, it doesn't start with some big new company policy. It starts with the leader doing their own inner work. It starts by asking some really, really tough questions.
A servant-minded leader actually carves out the time to look inward and ask these three foundational questions. Why am I really in this position? What is my purpose here, beyond just a title on an org chart? And maybe, most importantly, how can I make a genuine, positive difference in the lives of the people on my team?
Now, asking those big questions, it leads to a really crucial realization, a sense of intellectual humility. You have to be able to admit that you just don't have all the answers. The source is crystal clear on this. A servant-minded leader embraces the idea that there's always more to learn and that they don't know what they don't know. And that humility, it naturally leads to a huge shift in your behavior as a leader. It's about breaking free from one of the most common leadership traps out there, that obsessive need for control.
Now, here's a radical thought from the source material. What if true empowerment actually means letting your team find their own way, even if it's not your way, even if it looks wrong or less efficient to you? The passion and the ownership they get from figuring it out themselves is often way more valuable than them just perfectly following your plan.
And you know, this controlling attitude, it shows up in a bunch of different ways. Sometimes it's obvious and authoritarian, but sometimes it's even disguised as being helpful. But no matter how you dress it up, it still robs your team of their autonomy and their sense of ownership. So when you finally let go of that need for control and you start to truly value your team's input, something really powerful starts to happen. You begin to see them differently. You stop leading with nouns and you start leading with proper nouns.
Yeah, let's just take a quick trip back to grade school grammar for a second. A noun is just a generic thing, right? Like an employee, or a designer, or a project manager. But a proper noun, that's specific. It's Maria, it's David, it's Chen. It's a unique individual with their own story, their own strengths, and their own dreams.
There's a huge difference here. Knowing about your people means you know their job title and you know their performance numbers. But knowing them, that means you understand what actually drives them. You know their dog's name. You remember to ask how their kid's soccer game went. You see them as a whole person.
And the path to doing this, well, it's pretty simple. But that doesn't mean it's easy. It means asking questions that show you actually care. It means listening to understand, not just waiting for your turn to talk. And it means proving that you listened, by remembering and following up on the things that are important in their lives.
So, when you strip it all away, it really boils down to this one fundamental question. Is your leadership a transaction, or is it a relationship? Are you focused on the return on investment, or are you focused on the human being in front of you? The servant-minded leader already knows the answer.